Hi, thank you for your question. So for those who don't know, my name's MJ. I'm a trans man. I'm married to another trans man. This is us. My husband and I, we were both born female and we transitioned to male. So in everyday society, when I'm just like in everyday life, when people find out that I have a husband, yes, they are shocked. But I don't think it's because like they think I'm a gay man and they're shocked I'm with a man. I think it's because I'm androgynous looking, so they think I'm a lesbian. So then when they hear that I'm married to a dude, they're like, whoa. Another thing, there's the myth of like, why would you go through hormones and surgery and transition to a man just to date another man? And I get how like the concept of like orientation and gender identity being different is like a little bit confusing to people if they don't have to go through or pay attention to those types of things. I always try to explain it in this way. No person on earth is going to surgically alter their body or go on life-changing hormones just to date a certain gender. Like, that doesn't happen. As far as my community, the trans masculine community, I never feel judged by other trans men or whatever, for being married to a dude. Situations like mine are much more common than straight trans men. I'm not saying that there aren't, I know, I've been in the community for years, I know that, like, there's straight men out there who have successful relationships who are doing awesome. But there literally are, like, reasons why it's not super common for trans men to be straight. Number one, hormones affect the brain. This isn't just like a thing that happens with trans men in bodybuilding communities with cis men. I mean, they're not going to shout it from the rooftops, but it is known that like being on roids can sometimes alter your preferences. It doesn't happen to all trans men, but it is something that's not uncommon, I'd say. Another thing, you gotta think of like intimacy drives. When you are on hormones, that shit goes up. And I'm sure there are plenty of cis women out there who can keep up with it. But once you get into your late 20s, your 30s, it's just not as common. So I think sometimes maybe this could be why like heterosexual unions with trans men don't always work out. Like I said, not always. Another thing, like people will see people who identified as lesbian their whole life, and then once they transition, they start dating men. And like I said, this can have some part due to like testosterone, but also it's because a lot of people, myself included, I identified as a lesbian for a long time because at least I could like dress how I wanted, present how I wanted. I was referred to as a dude like half the time. Even if you don't feel fully comfortable as a masculine lesbian, at least like these things make it a little easier to tolerate life, being able to dress how you want, act how you want, be regarded how you want. But then when, trans men start to transition, they start finding themselves more and they realize, hey, there's a whole new world. So I think a lot of these things play into why in the community, my situation is definitely not a minority.